to?
I didn't.
Who did you go to?
I didn't.
What were your outlets? I mean, the cruising wasn't the outlet for the sense of having that intimacy, but where was the outlet for you?
I did not have any. I did not even know who Joel was. I knew how to be a good husband. I'd be a good father. I knew how to be a good pastor.
For how long?
I had no idea how to be a Joel. And that was, well, honestly, really my whole life. But from teen years all the way up till I was about 35. So 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I did not know how to be me. All I knew how to be is what I should be. Mm-hmm. My life was defined by the word should.
Yeah. And
one of the unexpected good things about ex-gay therapy was that going to see a counselor, it was the first time that I'd ever talked to anybody and been real with anybody. And so it did feel good to be able to just be real. But I realized quickly, because he would be like, well, tell me, I'd tell about your upbringing or whatever. And I would tell some story, and he'd be like, well, how do you feel about that? And I remember going, I don't know. How should I feel about that? And he's like, well, no, I just don't should. Just like, what are the feelings that you have about that? And I'm like, I don't know. Should I be angry about that? Should I be sad about that? I don't know. And I honestly had no clue. I was so dead.
Yeah, it's almost as if cognitive thought is conditioned away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what I felt at all about anything, because everything was, I knew what I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to feel, how I was supposed to act, what I was supposed to say, And so I had no clue what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I lived, then combined with that, living to hide who I was so that people would not suspect either. Yeah. So I think I erred on the side of like, I wasn't like, looking back, I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all didn't know I was gay?
Really?
But I tried, like my office, this is back in, I tried, I decorated my office in this very heavy masculine type of office with heavy furniture and leather, burgundy and forest green and navy blue and brass accents and, trying to make it look very,
right.
Lots of leather bound books, kind of thing. But that was an attempt to,
that's your survival. That was our
erase
survival.
Any suspicion. Yeah. It wasn't so much that I loved it. It was like that will throw them off, and I made sure that I hated my voice. And so I would always make sure that I spoke.
You do? You did?
I did, yeah. I tried to.
I think you have a lovely speaking voice.
I don't mind. I like my voice now. But back in the day, I was just like, I would listen to cassette tapes of me preaching. And I was like, I sound so gay. And I was like,
did anyone ever say anything?
No, And so then I was like, I don't want to ever hear those. I wouldn't listen to them. And I would spend, it's weird. I had these moments in life throughout my life that I remember. Well, for example, my mother, when I was 5, my mother knew. Mm-hmm. Whether she ever would admit it or not, I don't. But she knew. Because I can remember as young as 4 and 5, she was concerned that I was playing with too many girls. She didn't want me playing with G.I. Joes because they were dolls for boys. That there was this ongoing narrative all the time, which then later on, I was told about how to, sit like a man. Men cross their legs like this. Men hold their books like that. Men look at their nails like this. And it was just this lump. And so I was doing all of that, working really hard to remember, how am I supposed to do that? Oh, how am I supposed to do this, not that? And, and it took me a long time to unpack all of that to go, it's okay. I don't care what it thinks now, and I think people probably, if someone from my past were to hear this today, they'd be like, they used to call me Brother Barrett. They would be like, oh, Brother Barrett sounds so gay. This is how I always was.
Right.
I just worked to hide it.
Right.
It's not because I'm more gay. It's just this is what I was hiding.